Evil degenerates running after Zazie Beetz.
They Will Kill You stars Zazie Beetz, and I think it's worth seeing on the big screen.
If you've seen the trailer for They Will Kill You, then you probably think you know all there is to know about the film. But is there more?
They Will Kill You. It's not quite as clever of a title, but how is the movie? Well, that's a great question.
Let's talk about a movie whose title sounds less like a suggestion and more like a warning whispered through the ventilation. They will kill you. Not they might, not they could. They will kill you. And honestly, that title lands heavy and true, like a late-night tweet from Elon Musk suddenly shaking the news. Short, ominous, and guaranteed to make people look twice at the clue. Now imagine answering a job listing online in New York City too. Just a normal ad promising a paycheck and a peaceful review. Clean some rooms, earn a little money, mind your business, and push your cart down the avenue. But instead of a normal building waiting in view, you walk into the Virgil, where the danger slowly comes into view. A luxury high-rise polished with marble and glass and perfect view, the kind of building that billionaires brag about buying when their profits accrue. But the deeper you walk through the lobby's shine and velvet hue, the darker the whispers become about what the tenants might do. Because in They Will Kill You, the moment those elevator doors slide shut on cue, you realize this building isn't just rich, it's hiding a ritual or two. The kind of rich where people don't just buy yachts or a penthouse view, they buy immortality like tech billionaires trying to hack life's code anew. The residents here aren't just sipping wine while discussing the Dow Jones review. They're a satanic cult performing sacrifices to keep their lives renewed. And tonight, the offering they've carefully chosen is you. Picture the scene unfolding in the hallways, dim blue hue. You've barely unpacked your cleaning supplies when masked figures burst through. Cultists flood the corridor like a riot breaking through. Weapons raised like politicians during debates, yelling their talking points through. Except this isn't cable news or a political feud in view. This is survival, and the violence is about to debut. And here's where the movie flips the script like a courtroom bombshell breaking through, because the woman they chose to sacrifice refuses to follow their rules. Instead of screaming or running like most people might do, she grabs a shotgun and turns the hallway into a battlefield debut. Her name is Asia Reeves, and she didn't come here just to sweep floors or wipe glue. She came to flip this entire building upside down like a viral moment on YouTube. The first attack explodes like fireworks lighting the sky's blue hue. A cultist charges forward and Asia blasts him apart like champagne sprayed on New Year's Eve at a rooftop view. Blood splashes across marble floors like paint in a gallery debut. And suddenly, the entire building realizes this sacrifice might not go through. Welcome to They Will Kill You, where the chaos comes fast and true. Now here's where the movie starts flexing its cinematic kung fu, because the action scenes hit harder than a Mike Tyson interview. No shaky camera chaos bouncing around like a drunk cameraman on Mountain Dew. The camera pulls back wide so every brutal move comes fully into view. Axes swing, shotguns boom, bodies crash through tables like wrestling highlights replayed for a pay-per-view. There's even a moment where Asia grabs a burning axe glowing orange and blue, swinging it through cult members while flames light the hallway like a medieval breakthrough. Imagine Thor trading his hammer for a fire axe mid-battle review, and suddenly the entire room glows brighter every time the blade cuts through. That's the rhythm of this movie as the chaos continues to accrue, each floor of the building becoming another survival level to break through. Cultists chase her through hallways like paparazzi chasing a celebrity scandal in Malibu, while elevators open and close like traps, waiting to swallow someone whole in view. And somewhere along the madness unfolding in this brutal tableau, a severed eyeball rolls across the floor, watching everything unfold too. Yes, an eyeball, still watching the carnage unfold in plain view, like a security camera in Vegas casinos, scanning every move you pursue, except this one used to belong to a cultist who got his head blown through. As Asia climbs deeper into the building, the insanity only grows and brews, with ventilation shafts becoming escape routes she crawls through. At one point she's crawling through ductwork, while cultists hunt her like predators stalking their prey through morning dew, their footsteps echoing beneath her like thunder rumbling through. Later she's in a kitchen brawl where knives and frying pans join the violent review, turning cookware into weapons like Gordon Ramsay losing patience with a chef's menu. Physics politely exits the room like it has somewhere better to go pursue, while bodies fly through tables like stuntmen auditioning for Fast and Furious 22. Blood sprays so dramatically in every crimson hue, it feels like a samurai epic Tarantino might have directed after drinking espresso number 2. And yes, the movie absolutely wears its influences like tattoos. You can feel the ghost of Kill Bill inside the sword-swinging revenge crew, mixed with the vertical building warfare of the raid breaking through. Then sprinkle in a little Hot Fuzz-style comedy, humor skewed askew, where brutal violence and ridiculous jokes collide in a wild cinematic stew. But here's the clever part about this chaotic brew. The movie knows exactly how ridiculous its premise feels in view, and instead of apologizing, it leans into the madness like a comedian roasting billionaires on stage with nothing left to lose. Because the villains aren't just creepy cultists in robes dyed midnight blue, they're wealthy elites who believe sacrificing the poor keeps their immortality renewed, which honestly feels like satire sharper than a political cartoon debut, depending on what headlines you've been scrolling through. Leading the madness is the cult's sinister manager, running the building like a twisted HOA review. Imagine the most passive-aggressive superintendent you've ever known complaining about rent due. Now give that person a ritual blade and a century of power to pursue, and suddenly your late rent notice feels like the least dangerous issue in view. But the strangest moment happens when the story climbs to the top floor too, because that's where the cult prepares the ritual they believe will see them through. Instead of summoning a demon bursting through fire and sulfur in dramatic cue, Satan speaks through a possessed pig's head staring back at you. Yes, a pig's head. Talking, like something Edgar Allan Poe might dream up after 3 sleepless nights and a horror marathon review. Names of the cult members are carved into its skin like a grotesque tattoo, and whoever controls those names controls which elites get their immortality renewed. It's bizarre. It's grotesque. And somehow, it still works like cinematic glue, because by the time the movie reaches its final showdown in the ritual room's crimson hue, Asia isn't the victim anymore. She's the storm ripping through. Cultists charge from every direction like waves crashing against a canoe, and the final duel becomes a violent opera of fire, blood, and fury breaking through. The finale feels less like a traditional ending you'd quietly sit through, and more like a heavy metal concert crashing into a haunted house built just for you. Fire erupts, bodies fall, chaos spreads across the entire room like rumors flying through a newsroom interview. And when the credits finally roll into view, you realize something about this movie is unexpectedly true. It never pretended to be a philosophical masterpiece critics dissect and argue through. It just wanted to entertain you. Because sometimes the best movie nights aren't about awards or Oscar buzz breaking through. Sometimes they're about watching chaos unfold while the crowd laughs and screams too. Axes swing, blood splashes, cultists scream as their twisted plans fall through. And somewhere between the flaming weapons and the absurd stunts breaking through, you might catch yourself smiling at the madness unfolding in view. Because sometimes cinema works best when logic politely steps aside for the debut and pure adrenaline takes control of the ride carrying you through. So if you decide to watch this movie unfold tonight in theaters near you, go in blind. Don't read every spoiler or trailer breakdown trying to guess what's true, because half the fun comes from discovering the madness as it breaks through. Step into the Virgil building and let the chaos pull you through. Then see if you survive until morning light shines through, because inside those luxury walls gleaming cold and blue, they will kill you, unless you kill them first too.